All right, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Welcome to DuePoint. We have an exciting format for everyone this evening. This is probably my favorite format of our intro presentation, which is what we call Tell All Tuesday, because what we do on Tell All Tuesday is we invite some wealth engineers up onto stage to share their experience, to share their stories with us. And I think that becomes a little more credible than me just telling you how the business works and how the system works, is to hear it from somebody else who's actually doing it. So we're going to look forward to speaking to some of the wealth engineers this evening. We're going to spend probably about an hour on this presentation. After the presentation, you're welcome to speak to me, ask me any questions that you might have. I'd like to welcome everyone who's tuned in around the country. Lynette, I know you've got two sons tuned in from Ermelo in England, and we've got Rumbi who's probably going to try to stream in from work. Amongst a host of other people watching. All right, so let's begin. As you can see, DuePoint is a division of a company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. Constantia is a registered insurance company in South Africa. We were founded in 1952, so nearly 70 years ago. That's Constantia's building in the background. We don't share offices with them, but they are just down the road from us here in Randburg. The FSP number that we operate under is that one that you see over there. That's very important. That's our license to operate in financial services in South Africa. You'll notice on our website as well as in our foyer, we've got all our FSP licenses on display. So we've got a long and short-term insurance license, we've got an investment license, we've got our FSP license, and we've also put up our accreditation with the Direct Marketing and the Direct Selling Association. So for me, it's very important to place DuePoint and Constantia in credible light, because we know there are a lot of so-called opportunities floating around the country, some a little dubious. And for our guests here watching this presentation, I need you to trust the business we're going to be speaking about, because that's really a fundamental step in creating any partnership. Number one, you have to trust the business that we're speaking about. So you're welcome to go do a background check on us. Know that we're part of a greater group called Conduit Capital, which is listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange, but go take a look at us if you need to. Very quickly, we're going to pay a little bit of cognizance to the circumstance that we find ourselves in, but I trust that everyone here this evening already knows why they're here. I don't have to remind you. If you are tired of the economy, if you are aware that you are unable to get out of the debt cycle because your salary is not keeping up with the cost of living, if you're aware of what retirement looks like for you, if you are solely dependent on your salary, and all these things come together to develop this need for a lot of people to firstly take control over your income for the first time. Not to be at the mercy of the economy, not to be at the mercy of your company, the industry that you work in, or what your boss thinks of you, but for once to take control over your income to ensure that you live the circumstance that you want to live, right? And only you can make that decision to take that control. And so out of all of these negative aspects, our current economy, debt, what retirement looks like for the majority of us, Constantia saw the opportunity to create a division called DuePoint, and we launched what we call the DuePoint system just more than 2 years ago. So in February 2016, we launched the DuePoint system. And we have aspirations in mind beyond just creating additional income for the people that join us in this business. So you might have arrived this evening thinking, well, I'm here to make extra money. Right? We're all here for extra money. I assume you're not here for the Kit Kat and the coffee. Otherwise, things are really bad at home if you've got to drive to Bryanston for a sweet and a coffee. But we are here for the additional income, right? That's what you want to find out about. Our guests want to know what the system's all about and what this opportunity is all about. But beyond that, DuePoint as a business, we have actual aspirations beyond just that. What we want to achieve, and personally I feel quite strongly about this, what I want to achieve is to create or to change the way people think about money and think about wealth creation. Because unless you start thinking differently about wealth creation, you will find yourself in the same problem, right? And our first aspiration for people in this business is to aspire to becoming debt-free. Because if we look at statistics, I can bet nearly 99% of the people in this room have got debt in some form or another, right? We are all indebted. The entire country is indebted. Even the government is indebted, right? Everyone's indebted. If you want to focus on wealth, how many people here want to become wealthy? Wealthy, right? I like to put up every appendage that I can so that I'm in the front of the queue. But that's really why we're here. We are interested in changing our circumstance and wanting to become wealthy. Can you become wealthy if you owe other people money? You can't. And so our first aspiration always is get rid of that debt as quickly as possible. You don't have to take your time paying off debt. You don't have to take 20 years to pay off a house bond or 5 years to pay off a car. You can do it faster. Because what it does is it'll empower you sooner to focus on creating wealth. And we create wealth through the ownership of assets and investments that hopefully appreciate. But ultimately, it is just to become happier. Wealth, money, is a means to an end to be happier, right? And like Brendan says, money can solve about 95% of your problems. So those are the three aspirations that we have for people in this business, beyond just creating additional income. How does this DuePoint system work? Our guests here this evening, you have the opportunity to join DuePoint. Once you join us, you actually enter into a contract with us. We refer to you as wealth engineers, and as wealth engineers, you've got a single task, and that is to go out and build what we call a channel of distribution. And I'll show you what one of these look like. But basically what it is you going out and just connecting people to the DuePoint business opportunity. That's it. If you are successful in that process, and those people that you introduce to us will be exposed to a presentation like this, and if they become wealth engineers and take out one of our products, that is you being successful at that process. And the benefit for you is that you get to create additional income, right? That's why we're here this evening. But what's very important is the nature of the income that we produce here, which is what we call recurring income. Some people refer to it as passive income. I always refer to my father's definition of it because I think it's wonderful. He says it's the ability to make money while you're sleeping, right? So some people hearing this for the first time are thinking, how on earth do you make money while you're sleeping, right? I know a dodgy way to make money while you're sleeping, but what about a legitimate way? The legitimate way is by creating recurring income. What is recurring income exactly? It is the ability to earn money off of an asset that you own. Really, right? So it's actually inherent to insurance companies. Insurance companies have this wonderful ability to create recurring income. We've got what we call a book value that is an intrinsic asset that pays us out a certain amount of money every single month. We can predict how much money we're earning next month and the month after that and the month after that off of May's effort. My father, who's a gold miner, and for the majority of us who are salary earners, earn what we call active income. And you only get paid active income for the work you do and nothing more. Right? But if you own an asset, so let's say, for example, you owned a second property, right? Because your first property is not an investment, by the way. Your second property is an investment because you can rent the second property out and earn a recurring income in the form of rental income every single month going forward. In this business, you get to do that. You get to earn a recurring income. The effort that you put into building your channel of distribution this month in May can pay you in June, July, August, September, October, November, a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now for the work you did in May 2018. We've built power of duplication in mind when we built the DuePoint system. What is power duplication? It is the ability to duplicate yourself. Who has ever been so busy that you wish you had a clone? Oh, it would be great to have a clone, right? I dream about that sometimes. This one can play with my son because I can't play with the one kid with the other kid in the living room because then they fight. So I could have one clone playing with one kid, the other clone playing with another kid, one clone going to work, and the other clone cycling. That would be a dream come true for me. In this business, we have a similar benefit. It is this power duplication. If you are able, in building your channel of distribution, to bring like-minded people into this business, to collaborate with you, to work with you, and if they do the same amount of work, that is leverage. If you've got 10 people doing the same work that you're doing, you have just cloned yourself 10 times. You have now 10 times the amount of time being invested into building your channel of distribution, which will in turn increase your recurring income. This business is also flexi time. You can do this business any time of the day, anywhere in South Africa. No limitation. The amount of money and the technology that we've invested in allows you to do that. So you get to choose when to do this business. Because this presentation, really, what we're going to be proposing to you is for you to sacrifice time to invest into DuePoint. Right? You get to choose what that time looks like. There's no startup capital. We don't have any boxes of product that you have to buy. No one's going home with boxes of products tonight, right? Did anyone bring a bucky to load boxes of product in tonight? No one? We have designed the system to be as low cost as possible and low risk as possible, because then it increases the accessibility. More people can join this business because of that fact. No qualifications or experience required. Right? That's probably the number one discriminator in South Africa's economy. We were speaking about it earlier. I was speaking to Patrick and Pumi about it. The system and most economies, right, in a capitalist society are designed to marginalize people who don't have the experience and don't have the education to get ahead. I'm saying to you, it doesn't matter what your experience looks like. You can have matric or not matric. You can have work experience, no work experience. You can have a degree, no degree. I invite you to join DuePoint because you can have whatever you want. Again, it makes our system more accessible. You get to build an asset. Now, for me, this is probably the most important point, because, as I said, I'm going to be proposing to you that I want you to sacrifice time for DuePoint. That's family time, family relaxing time, time watching TV, all that time when you're not at work. I want that time for DuePoint, for my and your benefit. But know that the time that you're sacrificing and investing is going into an asset that you have legal tender over. It means legally you own your channel of distribution. That means you can sell that asset. If it's producing at 10,000 Rand a month, you can sell it. How much would you buy an asset for that produces 10,000 Rand a month? That's like a 1 million Rand house, right? A 1 million Rand house you rent out for 10,000 Rand a month. Think about it. This business will carry on paying you beyond retirement. Why is that notable? Because your active income that you're earning now is going to end when you get to 60, 65 years of age. 90% of South Africans have to get used to the idea of living on half their income once they retire. Imagine I took half your income away from you now. Half. That's going to happen to you when you can least afford it. Right? When you're 60, 65. This business will pay you beyond your 60s, beyond your 70s, beyond your 80s. It'll keep paying out beyond your death. Who would like to pass wealth onto their children? Statistically, how many people do you think are going to pass debt onto their children? How many children are going to put up a picture of their parents once they die on the mantelpiece? Only the ones that passed wealth on. If you pass debt onto your children, they're not going to put a photo on. They're going to say, that one. Well, Baba, they just gave us debt. No photo. Right? You want to develop legacy. Right? It would be a wonderful thing to pass wealth onto you. And you can only do that but through the ownership of an asset. You own your channel of distribution. We don't have any selling in this business. This might confuse a couple of people, especially the new people. Selling, there's no selling. What are we going to be doing at DuePoint? You don't speak about our products. What you're going to be speaking to people about is the business opportunity that exists at DuePoint. You don't discuss our products. That is my job. It is Brendan's job. We will propose the products that we have at DuePoint. Your job is just to connect to people to a financial opportunity, which is, by the way, the number one attractive commodity that exists in South Africa. If I spoke to this half of the group and I said, guys, I've got a wonderful insurance product for you, come check out a 1-hour presentation. How many people are going to put your hands up and say, I'll come? But to this half of the audience, I say, guys, I've got a business opportunity for you that creates recurring income with a listed company that's regulated by the Financial Services Board. You can make a recurring income. Do you think you'll come to the 1-hour presentation? Yes. Well, you're here already, right? That's all you're going to be doing, connecting people to the business opportunity. The nature of our products, because they're financial in nature, means we have intangible products. Like I said, there's no boxes of product you have to go home with. And so we make the products as convenient as possible. But your success at DuePoint is very much dependent on your ability to build a channel of distribution. When you go out, so you've become a wealth engineer, you've taken out one of our products, you're going to go out and connect other people. If you're successful in that process, and in this example, you've got 5 people that have become wealth engineers, taken out one of our products. That is the beginning of your channel of distribution. Whether you like it or not, from that point on, your channel will start growing on its own. Whether you like it or not. We've got thousands of examples of people that have got channels, even unbeknown to them, because they've quit the business. Their channels have just carried on growing and carried on growing and carried on growing. We've got one infamous woman that joined us at the beginning of this business. She did really well. I don't know why she left. She got to like 5,000 Rand a month within 3-4 months, right? That's equivalent of having like a million rand in the bank account. She walked away from the business and left DuePoint. Do you know how big her business is today? She's got over 7,000 people in her business today. She's not even aware of it. She's off doing something else. Right? Your business will grow whether you like it or not. This is what a channel of distribution looks like. This is leverage, because these people that you introduce to the business are going to go out and start building their own channels, in turn your channel. That is power of duplication. My hope is that you will be very discerning when you bring those first few individuals in. Because if you find desperate people that are resourceless, that become a burden to you, that behavior will filter into the rest of your channel. The antithesis, if you bring strong people with the resources to thrive as DuePoint Wealth Engineers, that behavior will filter into the rest of your channel. You want to build a strong, sustainable channel. So when you go out, go find people at your peer level that you can depend on, that you can work with, potentially for their lifetime, right? That will help build your business, not be a burden to you. This is what a channel of distribution looks like. My warning slide. The picture serves to be a perfect analogy to entrepreneurship. We make the mistake sometimes of romanticizing entrepreneurship. Does anyone have successful entrepreneur friends? 1, 2 people. The rest of you need to start hanging out with more successful people. That's just a tip. But we make the mistake of romanticizing successful entrepreneurs, because from the outside, everything looks great because they dress well. They've got nice cars. They've got a nice house. The dog is even good looking, right? And you look at it and you go, oh, it must have been easy. Oh, look, they must have been so lucky. Look what they got, right? They knew people, or they were in the right place at the right time. If you scratch a little deeper and you look beyond this, you will find this. Because true entrepreneurship needs blood, sweat, and tears for you to be successful. Anyone try to start a new business? No one ever? It is difficult. The statistics currently, 95% of brand new businesses will fail in the first year. And what are the expenses that you drop into a new business? And the time, right? Fortunately, we've designed a system where we've taken care of majority of those things. So the risk is very low. Do not make the mistake of thinking that you can become rich quickly. That's why it's called a get rich quick scheme. Not this one, I'm talking about the other ones. They are called get-rich-quick schemes, right? The problem is, if you ask this audience, I can ask you, how many people want to get rich slowly? No one. You're at the wrong presentation. Guys, it does not exist. Get-rich-quick does not exist, right? There's a guy on Facebook, cash in transit heister. Did you see him? Right, you see the pictures going around. He was flashing all his money, shopping at Louis Vuitton. He was involved in a get-rich-quick scheme, right? He was hijacking cash and transit vans. That didn't end well. Get-rich-quick schemes do not end well. I bet you I can speak to anyone in this room. You've all been exposed to one of them, because they are all over the country, right? We are not one of them. We're a 70-year-old insurance business. We don't get more boring than that. And we are probably in the most regulated industry in the country, being financial services. Again, I hope we've allayed your fear that we're not one of those businesses, right? And so Brendan and I will never profess that you can be rich quickly. But if you're willing to work on becoming wealthy slowly, you're in the right place. And we're going to show wealth engineers. Everyone's got a different idea of what wealthy is, but this is our disclaimer slide. I don't want anyone to have the wrong impression. I'm going to go over our financial products. So we've got 3 financial products. Their benefit is all financial in nature. Our products aren't designed to increase consumerism. That's why we're in the problem we have at the moment. Our products are designed either to protect your assets or your investments, or to bolster your investments, or to reduce your cost of living. So our first product is called Access Wealth. It is going to cost you 324 Rand a month, 100 Rand of which gets invested into a tax-free investment fund. right? So 100 Rand goes into that every month. On top of that, we give you 120,000 Rands worth of personal accident cover. If you have this investment in place and you are, for example, killed in a car accident, we'll pay out your beneficiaries 120,000 Rand plus whatever's in the investment. If you want to draw out the investment, there's no notice period. It takes us about a week to do the transaction. So it's not a 30-day or a 60-day or 120-day notice period. This is our first product. Access Wealth, it is the investment product. The second product is called Wealth Guard. Wealth Guard is strictly insurance. It's going to cost you 249 Rand a month, but this time you get 1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover. Now you might be thinking, well, what's personal accident cover? Because I'm not calling it life insurance, I'm not calling it funeral cover. Personal accident cover covers you in the event of death through accident, not illnesses, not natural causes. So you might be thinking, well, that's not great. Let me tell you what's so great about this product is the accessibility to this product. Life insurance and funeral cover will discriminate against you from a health risk point of view. If you want life insurance and you go tell someone, well, I'm 60 and I'm diabetic, do you know what your premium is going to be? Right? This product does not discriminate against age or health. Anyone over the age of 18 can take out this product. The premium will remain the same and the amount of cover that you receive remains the same. So this is Wealth Guard, our insurance product. And then finally, we've got Wealth Points. Wealth Points is designed to reduce your cost of living expenses. So it's 299 Rand a month, and you get to engage with the list of companies there. We've gone and negotiated discounts from each of these businesses. For example, always on Wi-Fi data, if you want a gig of data from them, it's going to cost you 100 Rand. But if you're part of Wealth Points, it's only going to cost you 37 Rand, right? So they're all different. ShopRite Checkers, 2.5% off your entire trolley every time you go shop at ShopRite Checkers. And we've got everything covered. We've got groceries, online retailers, data. We've got hotels, restaurants. We've got car manufacturers. The last one we added, Jaguar Land Rover Santon. Because everyone could be ordering a Range Rover soon. Who wants to drive a Range Rover? I want to drive a Range Rover, right? I know if I'm on Wealth Points, I'm going to get the best price in the country because that's what they've committed to us. So this is how Wealth Points works. If you're looking for immediate benefit, that's the product. If you have any questions around the products, come speak to me. But they are designed to be straightforward, right? Let's talk about how you earn. So we talked about everything else. Let's talk about the most important part. How do you earn here at DuePoint? We call it our returns program. The returns program is that recurring income that you're going to build here at DuePoint. We pay a base return fee of 27.50 Rand for every product you have in your channel. So remember the slide with all the dots on it? Imagine earning 27.50 Rand for every single one of those dots every single month into the future. All right? But it actually depends on where the product lies. The people on the first point. So the people that you've personally introduced to this business, we call that your first point. And on your first point, you see we actually pay you double the 27.50 Rand. You're earning 55 Rand for every product on your first point every single month because it's recurring income. And then as your channel starts to grow to the second point, you earn another 55 Rand for the products on the second point. To the third point, the multiplier drops to 100%. Now you're earning 27.50 Rand. And as your channel starts to grow and grow and grow outward, the multiplier steadily drops to 4% by 0.8. But what's important to note is that we don't stop you at 0.8. That's why there's a little plus over there. Because from 0.8 onwards, you'll keep earning that 4% of the 27.50 Rand, in theory, into infinity. Because there's absolutely no limitation. We've got wealth engineers beyond 0.30 already in 24 months. The onus lies on you. There is no limitation to how much money you can earn at DuePoint. There's no year modes. It is up to you. If you want a bigger channel, if you want to earn more, go for it, right? There's no one stopping you. We then get asked the question typically, well, how much do people earn here at DuePoint? How much can I earn? How much time do I have to put in? What does it look like? So we built this projection over the next 5 years. Who's got a 5-year plan? All of you? Okay. Well, for those of you who don't, I'm going to give you a 5-year plan, right? You can copy my work. So this is a 5-year plan. It is based on a premise. The premise is that in your first month as a wealth engineer, you can connect 3 people to DuePoint. And every successive month after that, you only have to bring in 2 people. Right? So 3 in the first month and then 2 every other month into perpetuity. In other words, forever, or for at least the next 5 years. If you can do that, you can expect to earn 2,500 Rand after 6 months. Now, who's bitterly disappointed? I suspect everyone that wants to get rich quickly is bitterly disappointed that I'm only offering 2,500 Rand after 6 months. But remember, that's only connecting 2 people every month. But there's a lesson in this, right? Because I learned the lesson myself. I looked at the 2,500 Rand and I said to the accountants, right? There's one of the accountants sitting there. I said to the accountants, the example is too small to get anyone excited. And they said, well, we're not changing it. And what I learned after time was I make the constant mistake of giving money a spending value, right? The value in spending power. So if I gave each person here 2,500 rand in your pocket tonight just for coming, lucky evening, how long would the 2,500 rand last, honestly? Less than an hour. There's always someone waiting to go to the pub straight away. Right? An hour, a day, maybe a couple of days. If you are focused on creating wealth and not spending, not consumerism. Consumerism gets us into the problems we're in. If you become focused on creating wealth, do you look at the 2,500 rand and go, how can I spend it? Or do you look at it and go, how can I use it to my advantage, to making money? So I'm going to illustrate it to you, because here's someone with R1 million debt. Like the majority of us, we're all indebted. This person's got R1 million debt in the form of a bond, right? So they owe the bank R1 million on the property that they financed. At prime +2, they've agreed to pay the bank back 11,500 rand for the next 20 years. So if you're 40 like me and I engage in a bond now, I'm going to make my final 11,500 rand installment at the age of 60. But if I join DuePoint, and with some success, 6 months later, I'm earning 2,500 rand, and I put that 2,500 rand as an additional payment into my bond, which is only about 20% of the bond, it's going to reduce my bond term from 20 years down to 11.5 years. That's nearly halved my bond term. It has nearly saved me 1 million rand in interest repayments that I would have made to the bank. 6 months from now, you could have saved yourself 1 million rand in finance charges, or at least interest charges. At month 12, you're already at 100,000 rand in annual recurring income. Who would like a 100,000 rand check every year for Christmas? Just after Christmas, because if we give it to you before, you're going to spend it. After, when you're suffering in January, 100,000 rand check in your back pocket, right? No one gets that in this economy. We keep going. At month 24, you're earning nearly 30,000 a month. Do you see how quickly that escalated? Take a guess when the majority of wealth engineers decide to stop this business, because they get frustrated by it. Before 12 months. Who knows why? People have a low tolerance for pain. At month 36, you're earning nearly 50,000 rand a month. Tell me when the number gets too big. I'll stop, we'll go backwards. Month 48, you're nearly earning 70,000 rand a month in recurring income. We keep going.
Yes.
The end of your 5-year plan. At month 60, you could be earning in excess of 1 million rand in annual recurring income. Now, I know majority of you don't believe me. You've thought, 100,000 rand a month, you've got to be joking, right? This is a get-rich-quick scheme. Suddenly it looks like a get-rich-quick scheme. We've got wealth engineers joining this business that will join and do nothing. We've got wealth engineers that do this business, they join, and they do 3 + 2. And we've got wealth engineers that join and do this business and exceed 3 + 2. It is not the system, it is you who dictates how much you're going to do in this business. I cannot decide that for you in the morning when you wake up. I would love to give every wealth engineer a good morning wake-up call. Who would like to get a call from me every morning to motivate you? It's not going to happen. Right? I would like to, but it's not going to happen. We have to hold ourselves accountable to what we do in this business. So you can argue with me and you can say, well, this is theoretical. You came up with this projection that's just based on theory. It is. But like I said, we've got thousands of wealth engineers joining this business every single month, and everyone is running a different race. And on that note, we've got our first wealth engineer, Linda Badenhorst, who's coming up and is going to tell us her story, her experience of DuePoint. There you go. Is it dying? It's about to. Sorry, folks. Darcy. Okay, we're ready to rock and roll again. All right, so let's look at Lynette's channel. Lynette, you joined Lynette joined this business the day we launched it, in February 2016. So she's been in the business for just over 2 years. She's rank 4 already. That will make sense to you in a little bit. She's from Vanderbijl Park, which is my namesake. My grandfather founded Vanderbijl Park.
For you.
You like joke. The value of your channel is sitting at 16,000 a month. Lynette has introduced 19 first pointers to her business successfully, right? So you might be looking at that and going, well, that's good or it's not good, but look what it's translated into. Over 2,000 people are sitting in her business. Earned over the 2-year period in excess of 100,000 rand. Now, everyone might have a certain idea of what Lynette's business looks like, but we're going to hear it from the horse's mouth. Must have been an easy 100,000 rand to earn. Lynette, tell us how it's been, because we have had a relationship since day one, right? You've had a skeptical husband. I say had, right? Tell us what the journey's been like, because it's certainly been a roller coaster for you.
Well, Rob, definitely it's not easy, but it's magic. There's no way that I could earn this kind of money in any other job that I job. You know, I was working, I'm embarrassed to say it, that I was working for 2,500 rand a month. And I worked 18 hours a day for that. I had 3 heart attacks. I really had heart problems. And the principal said to me, it's because I'm exhausted or so. Why am I exhausted? It's because I was working so hard. And then I was sick and tired of getting money, not enough money, and I decided to join a networking company. And I believe that was the best decision I've ever made in my entire life. My husband wasn't thrilled. He said, no, somewhere along the line somebody's going to lose their money. Yeah. You hear that? Even Veronica, one of the teachers who was working with me, she said to me, what I'm doing now, or what you are doing now, is in exactly the opposite what I'm teaching the children in economics. They didn't understand it. I took my husband to a presentation, and once he came back, he said to me, go for it. And now he's my supporter. He's everything to me. I cannot do the business without him.
Well done. So let's discuss the journey. I don't really want to. So typically, I usually ask the wealth engineers to discuss what they thought of the business when they first got involved. But you've been in the business for a long time. I want to understand. I want you to tell your story of what it's been like in the last 2 years.
Okay. The last 2 years, the first year was wonderful, and then all of a sudden I struck something I can't understand. I can't know why it happened. I still don't have a reason for that, but it doesn't matter. Nobody will steal my dream. And I decided I need to go through it, and the results are not too bad.
And that was it was an entire year of difficulty. We used to sit and have meetings with Lynette. She would try this and try that, and for whatever reason,
I still don't know.
You just struggled in 2017. And for the majority of channels at DuePoint were thriving. Other people's businesses were booming, and yours was stagnant for an entire year. Why didn't you give up?
It's not an option. I've got a dream, and my dream is way bigger than giving up. If I give up my whole existence. This is my life. You know, I can't see anything else. I'm a pensioner, a baby boomer. Who else is going to hire me? This is my business, and I can do it until the day I'm 127, because I want to get to 127. So nothing can stop you to do the business. There's only one person who can stop it, and that's yourself. Your own belief system. That is what making this business. Nobody can steal my dream.
Yeah, I think that's been the point, and that's been the lesson that we've tried to teach people, is that your circumstances will change all the time. It doesn't matter whether it's not going to be you. You might not be able to imagine what the problem is. Circumstances change, right? The thing that you control is your behavior and your decision making. Like Lynette said, the only person that can make her quit is herself, and she refuses to do that. So where do you want to get to with this business? When are you going to be happy? Hopefully not at 127, hopefully before that.
I don't think you want to hear what I really want to do, but my target is to have 1,000 qualified wealth engineers on my first point. I won't say I'll do it in the next year or two. It doesn't matter. I've got the rest of my life, and I'm planning on living a very long, healthy life. So yes, it's there. That's my goal. I put myself, my first goal was to get to 4,000 Rand. I did that within 4 months. Then my next goal was to get to 10,000, and I achieved that. And then my next goal is to get to 30,000. Now I'm not there already, but I will be there very soon. If things go right, I will be ranked 7 within the next 4 to 8 weeks. So.
That's wonderful. One of the things Lynette's really good at is setting goals up for herself that she doesn't compromise on. So give us a little bit of a taste to just give you an idea. Lynette mentioned having 1,000 qualified wealth engineers on her first point. She's got 19 at the moment, right?
A long way.
Well, you can say it's a long way, but any change in your life starts with belief. Are we live? All right, folks, we're live again. I apologize to everyone who was trying to watch the live stream. I think you got stuck midway through Lynette's testimony, so you'll have to catch up tomorrow. We'll put the entire thing onto YouTube again later this evening, so you can watch their testimony, but let's carry on. So getting started at DuePoint is extremely simple. You only need to apply as a wealth engineer, right? The application, you can do that online on our website or on the mobile app, and it takes you about 7-8 minutes, and you're a wealth engineer. Read our code of conduct, that's important, but more importantly is that beyond just becoming a wealth engineer, start applying yourself to this business that you've taken on, because now you're a channel of distribution owner. Apply yourself. Look at the online training that we've provided. I think we were looking last week. We've got 500 videos on YouTube. Right? Everything's neatly categorized, so you don't have to be overwhelmed by the number. But my point is, go entrench yourself in that knowledge, because it'll allow you to build your channel faster and more effectively. Set goals for yourself. Like Lynette said, she's always had a goal. Why do we set up goals for ourselves? Because it is the only way you can give your planning and your strategy direction. You cannot have a plan or strategy unless you have a goal. We always set the goal first and then the strategy and then the simple task at DuePoint of just speaking to people. Remember, that's the only thing that you do at DuePoint. Connect other people to the business opportunity. This intro presentation, myself and Brendan will do the rest of the work. Our system will do the rest of the work. You have to be speaking to people if you want to do this business. Make sure that you like our Facebook page. So we actually launched our Facebook page on Monday, right? To much fanfare. We are producing content almost on a daily basis through that Facebook platform. So make sure that you like the page so that you can engage in that content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like I said, 500 videos on there. It'll tell you every time we load up a new video. It tells you every time that camera gets turned on to broadcast to the entire country, which is 7 times a week. And then download the mobile app. Once you become a wealth engineer, that is the first thing you do. If you don't have a smartphone, it is one of the investments you're going to have to make as a wealth engineer, is get a smartphone so that you can run the mobile app, because the mobile app tells you exactly what's happening in your business in real time. It is your primary business tool, right? So those are 3 things you need to do. With that, we've got Siyabonga Semelani. He is down in KZN, so he is not joining us this evening, but he's been kind enough to send us a voice note with a little story to tell. As you can see, he joined 15 months ago. His monthly return The value of his channel is already sitting at nearly 10,000 Rand a month. We've paid him nearly 100,000 Rand. He's got 307 products in his channel already, and he's introduced only 36 people. Do you see the leverage that exists, the power duplication? He's brought in 36, his channel's sitting at 307, he's nearly earning 10,000 Rand a month. Let's hear what Siyabonga has to say.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Siyabonga Simelane, all the way from KZN in Newcastle. I'm just a general worker in one of the special schools here in Newcastle. The truth of the matter was that it was not my dream. Reason being, I had no choice nor alternative. Even now, I'm still not happy nor satisfied with the current job that I'm doing, because it is not enough to pay my bills. Eventually, last year in February, I discovered this wonderful business called DuePoint. That is where my life started to turning around, because I managed to buy a new Polo TSI with DuePoint salary that I earn every month. My take is to start focusing on DuePoint so that I will continue receiving this recurring income every month. Hopefully in 5 years to come, I will become debt-free. What I like about DuePoint is that when you become a wealth engineer, you will be building your own empire, which will stand the test of time, because, ladies and gentlemen, this is not an easy business to run like other businesses. There are challenges. You need to prioritize and stay focused when doing this business, because it will need your time and effort, and you will need to be hands-on as a CEO of your business. What I learned so far, you need to be consistency. Never rely on someone when building this business. I like to encourage all my team, not mentioning one by one, but all of you, to stay focused and consistent. Building this business is going to reward you. I thank you.
So what stands out for me in his testimony, and this is often a point of discussion, is that people will be in a position based on their circumstance where they've got no hope of changing what they have to look forward to. So he mentioned right at the beginning of his testimony, I am a general worker. What does that mean immediately? Why would he place emphasis on that? It was almost like resentment. Because I think when he started out, he realized, this is what my life looks like. This is what I have to settle for, right? And unfortunately, the system, the economy, capitalism, the world, global economy is built like that. It is built like that. We were discussing earlier. If you want to go out and study really hard, do well at school, get into university, do 1 or 2 degrees, get into the job market, even then there's risk. You speak to Gary Vaynerchuk, he says the last thing you should do when you get out of school is go to university. That's his opinion. Because there's so much risk in the job market currently, even more so in South Africa. This business is the opportunity to take what you want. But as he says, you've got to work at it, you've got to be persistent and have goals. Our XP Rewards program. This business gets better. So we've got our returns program that pays out that recurring income. This is the cherry on top. These are the rewards that you get to enjoy along the way. So how does this work? You earn XP just by being a wealth engineer and doing wealth engineer things. So if you come to a presentation like this, if you watch it online, if you bring guests, if you log into your DuePoint app, there's a plethora of different things that you can do that earn you what we call XP. Stands for experience points. So if you join tonight, you will join as a rank 0 wealth engineer. But you only need 1,000 XP, and you need 4 products in your qualified channel, and suddenly you become a rank 1 wealth engineer in the rewards program, and means you get a 55 Rand once-off reward at the end of the month, right? See how small it starts? Almost like the returns. But the more experience you start to rack up, the more XP you're earning, and as your channel starts to grow, the success that you have in the business, you start to rank up, and the rewards, I promise you, get bigger and better. there's a 20,000 Rand check, a 50,000 Rand check waiting for you. We give our wealth engineers tools that help them build their channels more effectively. At rank 5, you get a special memory stick that plugs into almost any device so that you can show people a DuePoint opportunity regardless of what device you have around you. At rank 7, we spend 12,500 Rand getting business cards manufactured for you. Why would we spend so much money on business cards? Because business, and I'm saying this very generally and very broadly, business is about credibility, right? Always. It is always based on trust. When you put down a 12,500 Rand business card, it lends to your credibility. Your business card is 50 times more expensive than the other person's business card that you're speaking to. It affords you time to speak to that person about DuePoint. These business cards will help you build your business faster. At rank 9, we take you and your spouse and your 2 favorite children to our rank 9 conference every single year for the rest of your life, right? Black Mercedes-Benz to your house. We pick up your family, we go to the airport, you get escorted to the business class lounge. In the business class lounge, you eat all the food. Right? Because it's your first time there. You eat all the food. Business class flight. Your kids. Have you seen a 3-year-old sitting in business class? Right? Have you ever walked to economy class and you're walking past business class and you see the toddler sitting in the business class seat and you look, you scowl at the child and you go, what a waste of space. You're going to be your children. And then we fly to our international resort. It's a 5-star tier 1 luxury resort for 7 days, all expenses paid trip. You don't have to bring your wallet. You can leave your wallet at home because we pay for everything on that trip. So we've documented our rank 9 trip. Take a look at this video. This is all our video, right? A first-hand experience of what rank 9 feels like.
All of your wind has gone, and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sand where no one can see. You stand, don't let the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
I'll clap for that. Every single year for the rest of your life. Business class flight, a 5-star luxury resort holiday, every single year for the rest of your life. One wealth engineer got from 0 to rank 9 in 5 months. Half of these people did it in 12 months. It is available for every single person in this room. Generally, it should take you about 2 to 3 years to get there. But that's not what I dictate to anybody. You can do it in 5 months. Records are made to be broken. I'm waiting. I promise you now, someone will come along and do it in less than 5 months. It's going to happen. You need to decide how soon you want to get there. At rank 11, we spend R250,000 buying a brand new car for our wealth engineers. This has already happened. In less than 2 years, someone got to rank 11. We've got another 2 wealth engineers that are on the brink of getting to rank 11. So in the next couple of months, you're going to see a couple of other cars being given away in the parking lot. No T's and C's, no big DuePoint stickers on the car, no lease program. The car is paid for in cash and given to you in your name. So this is what our XP Rewards program looks like. It is a visceral experience. Do not get more excited by the rewards program than the ability to create recurring income. The recurring income is the primary benefit of DuePoint, right? The recurring income can buy you a car every 6 months. The rewards program is the cherry on top. It is the enjoyment. It's where we make sure that we're including your entire family in this journey at DuePoint. And with that, we have a very exciting couple that we're going to be bringing up now. It's Patrick and Pumi Latuli. They've been in the business since day one. And it really has been a privilege knowing this couple. You get to really know each other when we go on holiday together, so we always look forward to that. They have achieved almost everything at DuePoint. So what we've done is we've put together a little montage of the journey that they've had at DuePoint. So enjoy. And now, the video's going to start. "24 months. That is a flash in the pan. 24 months, and that's everything you guys have achieved. So come up, let's listen to what you have to say about this journey that you've experienced with DuePoint so far. Have you decided who's speaking first?
Obviously.
Hey, obviously. Guys, they've been on stage a couple of times, so I want you to tell people what this journey's been like. It is easy to look at that montage and to go, wow, that must have been easy for them, or they must be really good at speaking to people, or whatever you're making up in your mind. Throw it away. Patrick and Apumi, I'm going to tell you exactly what this business is like. Go for it.
Good evening, everyone. Wow. When I look at that, I'm like, yeah, okay, this is 2 years with DuePoint. I can't even imagine, because when I think of my first salary with DuePoint, I think we got like 600 and something.
Yeah, okay.
And I think the whole of 2016, we went to 1,500, we went to 2,000, 3,000. And when people are like, oh, I got 275, I'm like, really? I was so excited with my 695 when I got paid first time. So it is a journey. It is a journey. It's not an easy journey, but it is an amazing journey because on this journey with DuePoint, you're never alone. You know, the only thing that kept us up to this far, I think, is the vision that we have with DuePoint. It's a support structure that we have with DuePoint. And it's so great to have people like Rob, Brandon, Jane, Tim, everyone that believe in you. You know, even if you feel like, yeah, I can't do it, you know. There are months where I feel like I can just give up and Jane will phone me. I'm like, oh my word. Why? You know, but so what you're going through with the business, you know, it's normal. You know, I always say that this is not a job, this is a business. So it is a roller coaster. Some months you're gonna be doing well, some months you're gonna be doing like not really what you expect, but it is business. So what I'm gonna say to you guys, take this business as a business. It is a business after all. So there are no guarantees, you know, but you know what, give yourself out wholeheartedly if you want to do DuePoint. And what is important on this business is focus. I know a lot of people, they hate that word, but it's focus, you know. Focus does not mean that everything is fine. It does not mean everything is just smooth. But still, if the goal and the vision is big, you just need to carry on. Keep digging. When they say keep digging, like keep digging, you know. So basically it's like when I look at my journey, I'm like, okay, there's more with DuePoint compared to other businesses, because while you keep digging, there is cherry on tops that come along the way. You know the stress that you have this year, when you get to Mauritius, it's like, okay, did I ever have stress with this business? Because everything just looks so perfect in Mauritius. You know, you just eat, you just enjoy the activities. It's like you never had stress. So that's the beauty about this business. Once you're on that journey, but there's all this cherry on top. Like in my career, I've never driven a paid-off car. Just paid off under my name. In fact, I had a car that was repossessed while I thought I was doing well. At that time that I thought I was doing well, the car was repossessed, you know. So with DuePoint, I'm driving a free car, and I'm like, I remember when we came for the presentation first time, I looked at the incentive program. The first thing was like, car. You know, not Mauritius, it was a car, because I know the pain of losing a car. You know, where you think that, yeah, everything is fine, I'm at the, you know what, I'm doing well, the car that I'm driving, in fact, the car that was repossessed was a very beautiful car. So when I'm driving this one, I'm like, what is the difference that I mean, really now, with what I'm driving now? Guys, that car is nice. If you want to go for a test drive, come to us. That free car, it's nice. You know, free, you know, and it is paid off. You know, guys, it is paid off. Even if, I always say, even if I decide to leave DuePoint today, I'm glad that car is not going to be repossessed. So that is our journey with DuePoint. Look at the beautiful kids. You know, I don't know. But one thing that I know, that the business is doable. When you feel that, sorry, Lavina. So whenever you go through the deep, I know that he always says that I like to talk too much, but it's okay. So whenever you feel that you're going through the deep, it's normal. You know what? It's normal. We've all been through that. You know, I think the whole year of 2016, I feel that we started it wrong. We just saw this business. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do it. We just go and sign every Dick and Tom and Harry. Hey, there's money in DuePoint. You know, we think that, you know, you go to somebody, you think that somebody's gonna be saying, yeah, and somebody's like, really? this business in Zulu, yokufuna abantu, where we have to look for people. I said, yeah. So like, my family, they were against this. Our family were against DuePoint because they were like, these things, they disappoint, whatever the story. How can you take your career and do DuePoint? But today they're like, really, like, what's that thing that you were talking about? It's that thing now, So yeah, I think maybe.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I don't know where to start. We joined 2016.
Yes.
We joined 2016 February. The time we started, there were no people who were earning, but we decided to say let's try to do this business. But we started this business wrong. Why I'm saying wrong? We used to feel for people. Like we started in church. We signed everyone in church. Our church has got a lot of people. After 2 months, I saw cancel labs and everything. Okay? Then we did it again. Just imagine you're signing 20 people, and end of the month you're expecting these people are going this 55. But instead of this 55 times 20, you're only getting 55 times 3. But we didn't stop, we pushed. The whole of 2016, it wasn't right for us. We only started at 2017. It's where things were starting to happen. Where we starting to earning more than 20,000, money was starting going up. As we're pushing, the money will start shooting. I don't know.
It was a dry season, but then it was all about laying a foundation, Because when you look back, everyone is like, oh, you guys are doing well, ooh, whatever the story, and we like, as long as you are willing to go through the dry season, because obviously that season shall come, so yeah. What else?
Okay, guys. Well, let's take a look at what persisting through a dry season looks like. So they've been in the business for 27 months. On average, we are paying them 32,000 a month. On average. That's if they earned in their first month. Pumi said they earned 600 Rand in their first month. On average, they're earning 32,000 a month. Their apps in April. You want to talk about leverage? The amount of people that joined their business last month, 708 in a single month. If you average out the amount of people joining their business over 27 months, 406 people a month on average are joining their business. Their biggest month, they had 1,300 people joining their channel in a single month. They went rank 11 in a month on its own in 30 days. On the first day of the month, every month, we debit over 1,000 people in their channel. They brought in, you want to see the work, they brought in 234 people on their own in the space of 27 months. That is the work, right? The work has translated to the numbers above that. That is the leverage. Were there dry seasons? Were there hardships? Did you come into our office and complain?
I know that whenever, during the dry season, whenever I came to DuePoint, I know that Team Rob, Brandon, they wished to close their doors, but they couldn't.
Never.
Because they were like, oh, I wonder what we're going to say to Pumide today. But you know what's nice about them? Whenever you go through that, go to them. We've got an amazing center behind those doors. That center is an amazing, because you will never get out of that office being the same. In fact, whenever you speak to Brandon and Rob, we're actually having our monthly meeting every month where we go through the business. So whenever I come there, I'm like, oh, there was a bad month. They're like, bad month? They look at this thing like, but you guys look at it, and like, oh, when you go through the business, like, okay, okay, somebody in KZN is building, somebody in Mpumalanga is building, somebody in Eastern Cape is building. In fact, well done, Andy in East London. I'm so proud of you. I know you guys are watching. Dion in Durban, Mzinto, you doing so well. I'm proud of you, yeah? Passmore in Durban, again, wow, you guys are amazing. Ntogozo in Pietermaritzburg, wow, I don't know what to say. Matlaletzona in Bloemfontein, you know? So can you imagine, guys, that is our business. I can just say all the provinces in business, but this is a powerful leverage, as they're saying. 234 people on our first printers. We never stop putting people, because whenever you feel that you are on standstill, just put people. That is a remedy for this business. Go get fresh blood all the time. It's only fresh blood that will actually revive your business.
Another thing I want to tell you guys, if we started to listen at Brandon and Rob the day we started, we should be far. We only started to listen Brandon and Rob only in 2017, when they say, guys, you must make sure you do the team meeting. They used to tell us, we say, okay, I say to Pumi, no, next. The whole of 2016, we were not listening. And 2017, it's where things will start happening. Even in your business, let me just tell you something. Sometimes you're going to sign people, they're going to promise you bigger things. Don't listen. They'll end up using your money, want you to drive, to go to present for them. Yet when you get there, you're going to get all the wrong people. So in this business, if you want this business to work for you, you must make sure each and every month put your 2 or you put more. Guys, if since we started, we were putting 2 and we make sure we duplicate those 2, we should be far. Okay? So, my 2017 was so nice. I remember Pumi, I wanted to buy the car. She said, no, I mustn't buy the car because we're going to get the free car. After we got the free car, now we're fighting again. I was driving a Jeep, she's taking my Jeep now, right? Then I said, I can't drive the old car, also wants me a new car. Then after that car, I decided to buy a car for myself. It's outside, I think. I don't know which one I'm driving, because, okay, it's a GT Line.
Too many cars.
So all that is going through DuePoint. Just imagine in 1 year having 2 cars, the brand new cars. So I don't know.
No, you'll be shocked if we tell you which car. For now, I think it's a red Porsche.
Ferrari.
I'm joking. Okay. Yeah, sure. Rob, do we still have time? Because we can say...
Say more. Well, I think the point that I want to make, and something that comes across, is the sentiment of Patrick and Pumi is that 2016 they didn't do the business the way they thought they should have, right? But you can't look at the process and try and get it perfect off the bat. If trying to get it perfect off the bat is your aim, you're going to give up immediately because you're not going to do it perfectly off the bat. The most important thing, and this is where I take my hats off to them, is that they showed commitment from the day we launched this business. Regardless of what everybody said, right? Everyone has to take a leap of faith if they want to change their circumstance. We've designed the business to be as low risk as possible. And through the hard months, through 2018 has been a bit slower than you wanted it to be. Right? We had an amazing 2017, but does that hardship lead to quitting?
No, you can't. No, quitting.
So why don't you quit?
No, I can't. The vision is big, Rob. You know, when we joined DuePoint, we know that we're doing business. So it's a journey, you know. And I always like to give credit to Brandon because he's the first person who taught me network marketing. So he's the brain behind everything. So I trusted him from day one. I trusted you. I trusted everyone in DuePoint. So I knew that everything that has been promised, it's going to be delivered as long as I do the job. That's it, because you have never failed me. You have never failed us, in fact. In fact, when the business was going through the deep, you guys stood by us, So it is a privilege for us. It's not for us. Anyone, anyway, guys, you know that these guys are available for everyone. It's not for Patrick and Pumi only. I wish that everyone can use the support system from DuePoint because it's actually a wonderful support system. So, I don't think that I will ever go to a corporate world. I don't see myself working again. But the structure and the support these people are giving you, it's like you're actually taking me there. Because it's like, I don't know, the commitment that we have is every day of your life. If you have to build DuePoint, if you want to be big and go far with DuePoint, you need to have a plan every day. You need to know what you're doing every day. If you check your activities, if you check your XP points and they are on 0, check it now. You should worry. Because it shows that are you committed to this business? Because the commitment starts there on you opening your app every day. Because, when first day, I always say, first day when we came for presentation and we're like, we in. The first night, we slept around 2 o'clock. Doing what? Going through the whole website. Going through the whole website because I wanted to know everything about this business. So if you're not passionate, if you don't have that thing of you not wanting to know how Lynette is doing it, how Roloff and Masha are doing it, how Jack is doing it, you should worry, you know what? Because end of the day this is your business, it's your baby, end of the day, because there are no guarantees in life. I was like telling Rob that today I was reading on News 24. Did you see what is happening to the rand? Guys, you don't read. Okay, it is so scary. And I'm like, thank God I'm not employed. I'm going to make this business work. Even if it takes us, we always talk about it, on the Pillow Talk, that even if it takes us to be the only one doing this business, we will do DuePoint.
Oh, I wish I was Pumi to be able to talk because I can't talk like that.
Guys, I think to close off, I often wonder what it would take for people to quit. I think people have to understand that. You have to have self-awareness. How bad would it be that you would have to quit something? Because it kind of puts a line in the sand as to what your tolerance is, right? You can look at the numbers and go, does it look like there was any hardship in those numbers? Do you look at those numbers and go, oh, they must have suffered? Or do we look at the numbers and go, they're so lucky, right? Get stuck into this business. What are your aspirations? Lynette wants to get a red Ferrari before she's 127.
I think
to close off, what do you want out of this business?
Everyone knows that whenever I speak to people, my dream, and I always bother Patrick about it, it's like, when are you taking me to Stain City now? That is like, really, that is what is driving me on this business.
You can see Stain City from your house.
You know, obviously, when I open
see how the rich people are living.
Yes, when I open my door, my window, I always see Stain City. So I'm like, I think we picked the right house where we can see Stain City. You know, when we open our window.
Got the motivation every single morning.
You know, the houses that are building there. I don't know how these people they're getting money, but I know where I'm going to be getting mine from DuePoint.
It's true. When I opened my window in the morning, I'm just looking there on Stain City. When I go to the dining room again, when I'm standing on my small balcony, I look at Stain City. That means when I get there. And my car, I can't forget my car, my Bentley, I'm still going there.
Guys, thank you. We look forward to the journey with you. It has been wonderful to see the amount of commitment from you. To everyone else in the room and watching us on the live stream, it is available to everyone in this room. No one can come to me and give me an excuse as to why they can't get to what they want. Nobody. If you find yourself stuck on that, you need to evaluate your belief system. Because if you don't change your belief system, you'll never get beyond what your circumstances tell you you're allowed. So I invite our guests this evening to come join us at DuePoint. I invite you to step onto this field and start playing this game. But you have to start running. You have to be speaking to somebody every single day. We make this business as simple as that. You just have to speak to somebody. The problem is when something is so simple and it's easy not to do. Right? Because you think that just speaking to someone cannot have that much value. They spoke to 234 people that joined their business. It's turned into an average income over 27 months of 32,000 Rand a month. They are in month 27. They're already at rank 12. They have just started. We looked at their journey. It is a flash in the pan. I get impatient because I want to see where people are going to be in this business in 10 years' time. We're 2 years down the road. In 10 years' time, I want to see Patrick in his Bentley. I want to see a house in Stain City. I want to see a red Ferrari. I want to see 20, 30 rank 11s and 12s. I want to see us going on international trips twice a year. At rank 14, there's a second trip. You going overseas twice a year, business class tickets, every single year of your life. That's only at rank 14. The XP Rewards program goes up to rank 28. You have to begin the journey now. I love it when I speak to some people, they say, why did you not tell me about this business sooner? You have the opportunity now. No one can force you to do this business. You have to find it in your heart. You have to be desperate enough. I think why they've done so well, the people that come onto stage, is because they don't have a plan B. When you're forced in the corner, you have to make it work. You've got to figure out how to motivate yourself to get to that point. So I invite you to join us at DuePoint. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you make 2018 a year that you can brag about in December. Who would like to take a selfie in business class in December? Right? That'll light up your Facebook timeline. It'll be good for business. Guys, thank you for your time. If you have any questions, come speak to us. There's a number of us here this evening. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you.